again, he's on a rampage. That's going to be clean up for the Wizards. Yeah. Oh, that's just pure damage. Here he goes, the ball that slowness. And the Rengar is there for the cleanup.
Yeah, a bit of a fight, ladies and gents. Keepers, Birdie gets used dito naman ginamit din.
There's the arm of deception. Holy!
Maligayang pagbabalik mga Summoners dito sa Garena LoL Collegiate League. Of course, this is powered by Lenovo Challenge. You know, man oh man. Woo. I'm pretty excited for this Game 5 right here because we will be seeing Liceo de Cagayan University take on Ateneo de Davao University. I mean, with ADDU so far, expectations are just way up there based on how they performed in that previous game. So we'll just have to see, will we be seeing that same strength from players like Kitanda, like Kosu, similar to what we've seen in the game earlier, or is this going to be Liceo de Cagayan University taking down what is potentially one of the favorites in the Mindanao Conference thus far?
That's right. And ADDU, we want to see if they will be this team that can prove that they have sustainable macro, that they have great communication. That is what I think they are, and we will have to see if they can prove that this does exist and this is who we are.
Indeed. So, of course, Rockhart, looking at the bans here, that's for Oriana, Galio, as well as Juani, Callista, Jarvan, the fourth, and Kog'Maw.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of that Ardent Sensor-based supports again. Lulu again, that's secondary to Janna, which we have not seen as much as we thought. These sub-teams are actually opting for more of tanky supports, more or less, which is not really, again, after I just said it, it just gets picked. Come on. So yeah, that's great, and this Ramos is not, I think he will be picked a lot as well, because I think teams favor him because of his great engage.
Indeed. And Rise, though, gonna be locked in for C Dragon here.
Are we gonna see a lot of those teleport Zonya plays that we see so much of in the world stage lately?
I would love to see some fancy moves right there, but we'll just have to see if they could execute. Is that? Oh, okay, I almost got baited. I thought that was going to be a team. Like, ooh, man, are we going to be seeing a team with the LCL? But no, unfortunately, denied. It is going to be the Caitlyn instead.
And of course, Caitlyn works so well with Janna, especially if you have a tank in front of you, like, again, Maokai. But I'm not sure. This could be still a Maokai jungler, which is a great engage tool, but we have not seen as much of lately. We will see how well Gosu can manifest this Jarvan, or will it go to Kobe instead?
Indeed. I gotta say though, Ateneo de Davao University, interesting. 4 marksmen gonna be banned out from Demon Kite here. Given his name, he must be one heck of a demon.
That's right, and I think that sort of shows you the mindset that Ateneo de Davao is going for here, with focusing a lot more into the bot lane. But on the other side though, something that is really super prized in the ADC meta just got through, and that is Tristana.
Interesting. I'm actually surprised that, considering that they did focus on 4 marksman bans for what they banned out generally from Liceo de Cagayan University, Tristana of all champions, which is kind of one of the more efficient marksmen that we've been seeing as of the recent meta, actually goes through. So looks like the Nas is going to be locked in as well, with ADDU going to hover over the Stalia as their potential last pick for Kitanda.
Nasus not really the champion that we've seen a lot lately, but we have seen one instance of it used in Worlds, and so far it really demolished its opposition. So I am expecting Nasus to go really far. That is, if it can go through Gosu's Jace, which apparently is going to be picked on the top lane. Maokai definitely going to Kobe as well, again from that last game. We have seen Kobe very proficient on this, and I think we will see more of those really good engages soon.
So there you have it, folks. Both sides having locked in their compositions here thus far. I gotta say, It's interesting though, for Liceo de Cagayan University, they don't really have as much solid CC as I would have potentially hoped for. As far as larger scale, it's more single target from what I'm seeing here. Single target flow from
right.
Nasus, single target taunt, like single target root coming in here from Sea Dragon, the knockback coming in from Tristana. So I'm actually interested in seeing how that'll work, especially on the other side of things. Ateneo de Davao University, there's a lot of chaos that could really be ensued here with the Maokai, with the Talia, with Carly on this Jana, in fact. So what do you think about this thing?
What I think about this is that LDCU, Liceo, I think they really got sort of forced into the Tristana. I think this is not what they were planning, because Tristana works well with major AoE CC. That's where you see the Tristana blow things up and have that critical AoE that we like so much in Marksman. And I think they just got forced into this by Ateneo de Davao with that really smart banning phase. And that's not something you want to see. You want to have Tristana on Galio, on those really AoE champions which they banned themselves. So I think Liceo de Cagayan, I think they're banning themselves out with these picks. These would have been great. It would have been great to have a Syndra in the mid lane instead of a Ryze, but I think they just made a sort of a pitfall for their team in this pick and ban phase. But we'll see. We still have to find out how Liceo can execute, and that is definitely where it's been boiling down to a lot in these fights.
Indeed, I mean, just in general in LCL, I mean, you could have the best draft possible, but if you can execute properly and what your win conditions are, that could be your downfall. So we'll just have to see, though. I mean, as far as how this composition from Ateneo de Davao University could work, I mean, it's very straightforward, I gotta say. You
could say it's meta, but it's not really as solid of a front line. You have a really squishy Jace that doesn't really serve as much of a counter. But we will see. Who knows? Maokai Kobe could get ahead. And if he does succeed in getting ahead, that's going to spell victory for ADDU.
And looking at things, though, for Ateneo de Davao University, as far as the composition that they do have things covered.
Yes.
They have some decent engage, they have some decent disengage in Jana.
Actually, not decent. It's the best.
It's the best. Actually, I gotta agree with you there.
Say,
it's the best.
The best disengage. But we will see how far they will go in terms of damage. I think that's the area that they will have to focus on. They want to have those good damage dealers, but I think they're really confident in the form of Jace and Caitlyn that they're willing to lack a tank, and they're just willing to have just a Maokai as a tank. They know that they can execute, and we want to see that as much as possible this game.
Of course, so there you have it as we head into the game for Game 5. Of course, once again, mga kaibigan, ito ang Liceo de Cagayan University versus Ateneo de Davao University. Mindanao, bakbaka na. Let's get into the action.
And we will see everyone starting to roll into this. At LDCU starting to form that sort of wall on the red side jungle, and I sort of expect Maokai to just do really fast work of the blue, then just start rolling. It does open up a lot of possibilities for an invade, because I have seen Maokais do really quick invades in pre-early game, especially with Ramos, who takes a lot of time to ramp up.
I gotta say, that's an interesting ward there dropped by Carly over the Dragon Pit. So we'll just have...
Not really something you see every day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was actually...
I don't know the reasoning for that as well. It was a bit... I don't know. They really just want to have that area covered, which of course leaves the top part of the map a bit vulnerable. And it also shows where... Ramos is going to be starting,
Indeed.
Which is a big giveaway in terms of information. Meanwhile, on the other side, they're not really sure, because Maokai can start either way, and it can work both ways.
Yeah, looks like the Hound are getting quite the hard leash here, coming in from both that Ryze and Lulu. So this will grant him a little bit more of speed as far as clears, but still, gotta say, I really love this new skin here for Jana.
It kind of It's kind of really majestic, isn't it?
Yeah, majestic, and it reminds me of those Oriental drama series that are kind of back in these
Right.
past eras. It's quite elegant to look at. But anyways, skins aside, before I go into full fanboyment into how beautiful that skin is, looking at things though here as far as trade, still very much even, I gotta say.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the starting item here for that Tristana with Demon Kite opting for Doran's Shield as a start. This has worked previously in a few days ago when Uzi picked it up and actually had a great laning phase, and he was able to pick up a win in that. I think that's what they're trying to emulate.
Indeed, and what's interesting here is that as far as the LCL thus far, especially as it coincides with Worlds, I've been seeing a lot of inspired picks of what we have seen in Worlds thus far, such as the Nasus. And overall, I mean, execution is still that big question mark
Yes,
here.
that's right. But it's actually a great starting step because, of course, again, as Feo mentioned a few days ago, this is actually where you want to start. You want to start just copying what you see. What you see is actually effective, and then from there, hopefully, you want to build your own. You want to build your own builds. You want to make your own plays, and that's how greatness starts.
Indeed. I mean, because people think that you have to be original, but sometimes, you know, it's more of a collaborative effort, I'd say, wherein you kind of pick off tips from what the pros have established, and you can kind of build around from there, try to figure out your own groove, I say. But still, looking at things earlier, I see Dragon was actually quite low on the mana side, forced to back away for the meantime. Meanwhile, this will leave Kitanda able to farm now up
The
2
Hound,
waves,
though,
actually.
he's going up top, and he caught that Gosu by surprise. I think they should be able to get something here, at least a flash, but they don't have enough damage, and that's going to just leave Gosu with half health and a very empty mana bar.
A little bit of a chunk right there on to Gosu. And not only that, he is kind of low as far as the mana spectrum, but that is a little bit of pressure though. And the thing here, especially with Nasus, I mean, it's very typical. Everybody pretty much knows Nasus for that champion that kind of needs to stack up a bit.
That's right. You have to stack up a lot, actually, if you want to be relevant, especially in high-level play. Oh my god!
Gets the root on She-Dragon and Knockup as well. She-Dragon taking so much damage, having just gone back to lane. He is not catching a break. Will be forced back in. This will kind of might set him back as far as CS once again.
Yeah, it's really really dangerous though on the side of LDCU. On the bot lane, they're really building up a lot of advantages. They're actually really good for Demon Kite to stay near the CS levels of VAF, where you expect VAF to have like a really big CS advantage because of the range discrepancy. But so far so good for LDCU. If they just keep that up, they will start into a very dangerous stress. But meanwhile, Sea-Dragon getting a lot of damage from Kitanda. Kitanda actually still has that cleanse, which takes someone from
jump in though. The Hound gets the stun onto that Tristana. That will ultimately be the first blood though. Carly trying to back off as well. Still Demon Kite not taking any prisoners. Really pushing the poke onto Carly, forcing him to back away as well.
ADDU not showing the amount of ward coverage that they had previously. And I think the Hound, LDCU, they took advantage of that. They knew that at this point in the game, ADDU can't do what they did on the previous game, which is ward the whole area, because you don't have a sight stone yet. So it's going to be very limited where Carly would place those wards, and the Hound took advantage of that, and he went for the kill.
So looking at things right now, good start here for Liceo de Cagayan University. And man, looking at items so far, looks like Vath actually goes straight off into the Berserkers. So interesting. Gonna go for attack speed right off the bat though. Interested in seeing what Team Integrity is going for. Gonna be going for an early gift force, especially because it does have that leverage
Yeah, that's actually what you want to build on, especially like you said. There you go. It's what you want on the Tristana if you want to scale a lot more, because of course the additional attack damage from BF Sword will result into more explosions from that passive, and that will result, of course, in more CS. But I think VAT wanted to go for that more attack speed build to take advantage again from the buff on Caitlyn, where it enables headshots on towers. That is going to be very helpful, and that might give him some sort of catch up into destroying towers, because we know that Tristana does blow up towers really fast, and I think Vath, he just wants to catch up.
And that's the tricky part right here. The question is, will Vath be able to take advantage of that buff on the passive? Because from what we've been seeing here thus far, Demon Kite could easily put this wave pushing in from ADDU on his own terms, whether or not he kind of wants to push out or kind of hold back, because of the small damage of AoE whenever he does get that snipe onto a creep. So all really boils down to how if anything, Demon Kite, in my opinion, especially on this Tristana, looking at his itemization right now, has the BF Sword, will eventually be leaning towards the Berserker's Greaves himself, having built up the attack speed as well as the boot. So it's really kind of Demon Kite, I gotta say, having that solid advantage with that platform that he has from that first blood.
That's right, getting that first blood is so instrumental, and that allows him move speed and damage, as well as a small amount of attack speed, which will be very useful. Especially right now that LDCU wants to go for the bottom, but on top lane, Kitanda going in for Hope. And
taking so much damage there, Kitanda in exchange though, really hurting as far as those Qs. Man, outplay there. I wouldn't even say outplay, that was just straight out damage. So painful. Gosu as well getting vengeance, but still that was probably unanticipated by Kitanda right there. Man, oh man, that was quite the losses.
Yeah, 1-for-1 for Hope. I was not expecting that, and I think Kitanda wasn't also expecting that, because he was just going straight in. He thought that was in the bag, but the damage from from Hope actually was really amazing. He played that really well. A 1-for-1 for a gank. Oh, I'll go home with that anytime with it.
Oh, yeah, especially since that was initiated by ADDU. Here comes the teleport though, coming in from Hope. Gonna get chased though to Gosu. Really wants to bring on the pain. Gosu quite low on mana though. That's the knock away from Hope to be able to escape.
Exactly. Hope knows he has that advantage because he has that first item, Sheen, already built up, and that is, again, that resulted from the misplay there, missed gank by Kitanda for the 1-for-1. And now ADDU wants to take another advantage on the map by going for Infernal.
Ooh, this is going to be very interesting. Again, Infernal, one of those breaks that you really want to try to contend for, but looks like we'll be going to Ateneo de Davao University with no problem at all.
No problem whatsoever. That's what ADDU wants to do. They want to cement themselves as more of a macro-oriented team. They know they're kind of below. They know they need a lot of catching up to do, and LDCU just needs to take advantage of that. While everyone is busy, they need to just get those waves and get ramped on that gold, because they do have an advantage. 1K in favor of LCL right now.
Whew, 2-1 right now. Still very even, I gotta say. But man, if Demon Kite really gets things going on Tristana, because I gotta say I have high expectations of him, considering that 4 bans were technically targeted towards him.
Exactly.
And the fact that he still managed to escape with this Tristana pick, because Tristana is pretty much one of those really powerful champions that we've been seeing thus far. So we'll just have to see though how LDCU will play out, because again, we've been talking about, as far as the CC game though, more single targets here for LDCU in comparison to what Ateneo de Davao University has in their kit.
Yeah, although it is single target, I have to say as well that LDCU can still pull this off if they get to the right target in the right moment. Because that single target CC, that Rune Prison from the Rise, as long as it goes into maybe VAF, once caught out, and they don't have Carly, they can really get an advantage, even if it's just a Rise and a Ramos. Once that Rise locks in the Rune Prison, Ramos can do the quick follow-up, and that can result in good kills.
And I mean, we have seen how vulnerable Kitanda was when he did go for that gank onto that Nasus towards top. I mean, imagine just how frustrating it would be then, Rin. If ever LDCU, let's say, goes into focus fire onto Katana, you have that slow, you have that root, just gonna catch a break, and then Nasus just kind of chunks at you right away. It looks like the Hound's gonna try to get an initiate onto Katana, taking so much damage. Force under turret will be going down as Kobe gets the kill.
Harley with that great monsoon, forcing the Hound into tower range and not giving the other members of LDCU any chance to engage at all. Props to ADDU for that, and that gives another unanswered kill.
Indeed, Hope though really getting the push on onto this turret here so much that Gosu, as much as he could potentially get a roam across this map maybe, but because of how Hope just easily pushes out the lane, it just really makes easy work for the Seo de Cagayan University as far as needing to worry about responses from the rest towards top actually.
Yeah, and that's again, that is because of that botched gank that was from Katana earlier. That resulted in a Glacial Shroud and the Sheen, which gives so much sustain to Hope, and I think we just have to leave him there. ADDU kind of sort of knows that, and they're trying their best with Gosu to prevent that. They're shoving in the waves, and they're starting to move more members of ADDU to the top lane to try to suppress more of that. And I sort of expect Rift Herald to be taken as well, because I think somehow ADDU knows that they have an advantage in macro. Not much mobility in the form of Hope. There's not much mobility on the bot lane. They sort of expect LDCU's bot lane to just stay down there. So I think that should give ADDU the idea that, hey, the rest of the map is quite open. Let's go for these objectives. This will be our advantage.
Indeed, and looking at the map here as far as vision, I mean, ADDU University really has it covered, I gotta say, so this does grant them a little bit more freedom when trying to set up what plays they could potentially make. But the Hound actually catching out Kobe here. Is he gonna continue into the taunt? Really adamant to chase Kobe here, but looks like Kobe gonna escape just fine.
Yeah, when you see a Maokai running from a Ramos, that is not really a good sign. You always want to have that Maokai ready to fight, and if he is not, that sort of gives you the prompt that I am not tanky enough to take much of this, and the rest of ADDU is actually going to have a really bad time if Maokai and Kobe is not tanky.
There we go. Looks like they will configure Kitanda actually in the vicinity. These are 4 members of ADDU University getting the converge on Koneko. Forced to flash away, but I don't think he'll be able to survive. That might have been a little bit of a waste of resource right there. Man, that was quite the collapse, I gotta say.
Yeah, 4 man for 1 kill is something that you don't... It's not really very optimal because you know you have 2 members caught there, but great engage from Kitanda, blocking off every exit, and that it actually had to force Demon Kite off into the turret, which left, of course, Koneko to be very vulnerable. This will definitely result in the Rift Herald. Again, ADDU looking at the bigger picture. They want those advantages, and they will take that in form of global gold once the Herald takes down.
There we go. I think Exacto really adamant on getting this Rift Herald. Will the Hound get the steal though? Kind of within the vicinity, kind of a tug of war in which case, but looks like ADDU will prevail. The Hound though might have to be careful though as he is being converged on. Still, low mana bars across the board for ADDU University. So LC Dragon getting the kill onto Kitanda. Kobe might be the next casualty. Really a lot of damage being exerted here, but Carly will be the sacrifice in which case, but no, looks like Demon Kite isn't done just yet. That will be the knock up into safety. Will it be indeed for Kobe? Looks like that will be the case as it ends in a 2-0 actually.
Yeah, it actually should have been a clean disengage already. ADDU had the chance to get off. It's just that Gosu flashed into the blue buff, and I don't think he expected more than a member to be there, because right after flashing, he just ran off, and that sort of had to force the rest of ADDU to stay behind to try to back up, and that resulted in multiple kills in favor of LDCU.
So there we go. Looks like LDCU will be continuing with a little bit of a siege towards top side. 4 members, but no, looks like they will try to recuperate, go for a recall instead. Reboot.
That failed advantage from Gosu is go!
Are they going to go in though? Demon Kite really hungry. Gets a little bit of a poke on for games. Nothing quite substantial, but still, a little bit of a small vengeance call to just tell the members of LDCU to just kind of get away, leave them to farm for a while.
Demon Kite wanted to flex his muscles a bit, but I think a Shock Blast is a bit more powerful than the muscle, so Gosu kind of just shooed off 3 members there and just they left with their hands behind their heads.
Indeed, good restraint right there. Still looks like Kobe actually just kind of making a little bit of a drive through towards mid.
And I like that ADDU's bot lane is able to take advantage of so much pressure on the top lane. They're able to get more global gold, and that evens out the gold into even. I would even say in favor of ADDU because they do have that Infernal buff.
Indeed, and not just the Infernal buff, but even the Rift Herald to boot.
It's still in the pocket of Kobe waiting to be unleashed. And they are eyeing their way towards that win rate.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I don't think LDCU, I don't think Lysaea wants to let this go free. They are contesting, and that will also result in another turret in favor of ADDU. I'm not sure if this was worth it.
Indeed, and looks like Gosu continuing to siege towards top side. Teleport was up if ever things did get dirty towards that Dragon contest, but looks like it will go uncontested actually. Just ADDU, you know, especially since you don't technically need it, I'd say. So they will be allowing LDCU that small objective, but even with that turret take, I'd say that turret being pushed out towards top definitely has its value, and this will allow a little bit more potential for ADDU to have control of the staff.
Yeah, Kitanda was opting to run away, but he saw that Kobe was really nearby, and that Rift Herald gets summoned, and this will definitely be a turret. If not, they think they want to be able to still defend it. No, LDCU really wants to defend it, and the rest of LDCU are starting to collapse, but Gosu chasing down Sea Dragon instead, and he goes again with those very low mana bars. I think he will get caught out.
So there you go, Gosu kind of caught out here, will be going down to 5 members actually that collapse onto him, but still that will allow Adu that take towards mid, but no, looks like a fight still trying to ensure. Kitanda actually does manage to escape in the form of Hope as a casualty being exchanged here. LDCU really intent on trying to find another target, but no, will be forced to back away for the meantime. That'll be a 1-for-1. Both top players actually.
Yeah, Hope trying really hard to start the engagement. They thought they had the great advantage, but Hope was not tanky enough without that ultimate that I think he overestimated himself in that fight. It would have been really clean for ADDU to disengage, but they will now opt to just ward the rest of the area. And so far so good for LDCU. They're starting to crawl back with that advantage, and ADDU just needs to ward out really soon because we might have a Baron fight in our hands quite soon, Arctic.
Maybe, just maybe. And from what we've been seeing, we are actually near that 20-minute mark. So this will be something that both sides need to take into account of as far as control. But technically, with still quite a number of minutes till the next Dragon, this will grant him that flexibility in a way.
Yeah, another Infernal is not something you want to give to ADDU right off, and that should prompt more wards coming out from the support of LDCU. Koniko is actually just starting to ward that Baron area, and I think they're opting to go for the nearer objective instead. So, yeah, they're definitely going for objectives here. Tower first, and from that tower, that's going to grant so much more control. That's going to open up the rest of the map for LDCU. But Kitanda opting for that Weaver's Wall, and that gives LDCU the swag exit. Oh no! Sea Dragon got caught off on his own portal.
Bit out of the picture. That will result. Still, Demon Kite getting the kill onto Gosu. Hope might be a sacrifice, but no, a little bit of a heal there coming in from Demon Kite. Oh no, actually that's from Koniko. But look, LDCU try to go for the re-engage though, trying, kind of figuring things out, but still will make the smart choice to back away for the meantime.
That's right. So LDCU getting out with all members intact so far. They're able to just kind of sliver away with their helps. Meanwhile, ADDU is not done with the pressure. They want that turret because again, mid turrets are really important in opening up the map.
Meanwhile, will be going for the dive onto Sea Dragon. still Kobe taking so much damage. Demon Kite, this may be his opportunity. Killing spree though, as double kill goes into the pocket of Sea Dragon. Looks like they are not done just yet. The Hound trying to get onto Vath here. Heal being propped up by Vath to try to go for the escape, but the Hound still on this marksman's case right here. Actually gets the taunt on this, maybe the instant kill onto Vath, and Kiss of Death. Sea Dragon gets the kill, and they're going to be transitioning into this Baron though. Demon Kite actually gets slain by the Baron. Gosu going to try to contest this. This will force of the rest of LDCU to disperse for the meantime, so still a little bit ambitious right there, but nonetheless, I'd still say that that does favor LDCU.
Yeah, if it's surprising for Ateneo, they usually have good board coverage whenever they start pushing, but that was actually just a snap decisions, I think, so that's why they weren't really ready, and they kind of bit off more than they could chew. They should have disengaged right after that. Once they saw that everything was dark, that's something you don't want to see. That's something that everyone has to learn, especially in solo queue. You really don't want to start and engage with an area that's really dark, especially if you know that every member of the enemy team is just alive. I know they're going into base, but if they do have that home guard buff, they can get to the tower really quickly, and that is exactly what happened.
A little bit of Christmas happening here for Hope towards topside. That was a heavy wave pushing in, so that will grant him a lot more opportunity to stack up. So overall, though, looks like ADDU making a smart decision again with this Baron up. They want to try to get as much control as they can towards this side of the map.
Yeah, the tankiness of the LDCU is actually being favored very heavily. And I think they really want to punish Hope's attempts at farming, while 4-5 members of ADDU are engaging on that Hope.
Indeed, look at the damage though onto Carly, but still does go down. Kitanda getting the kill. Will this be the signal for ADDU to try for Dragon, though? That might be a bit risky.
Counter engage though.
Hound actually getting rooted though by that trap coming in from Vath though. Still trying to seek out an opportunity. Still quite the messy fight that we're having here. Gosu trying to get onto the case of Konako. It's the rest of LDC gonna try to convert right now, but still Carly getting the kill actually onto Konako. So much damage being exerted. Gosu gets the kill in exchange for Hound. Looks like they are not done just yet. Sea Dragon, the only remaining hope of LDCU before that ace. Actually, that will indeed be the ace as Ateneo ADDU University goes for the Baron.
Great engage there, and that was all started when Hope was caught out of position. In the end of that fight, I think they would have gotten out safe, but Gosu after that, he went great on the flank, and he was able to pick out an unexpected member. He was able to push out the Wild Growth from Konako. He used it on himself, and that left Demon Kite very vulnerable to attack once that fight broke out.
And this is what's tricky here, because LDCU, they kind of can't afford to miss out on at least one of their players when going into team fights, because that's technically what makes up for them not having the solid CC in a way that ADDU University has. So at the end of the day, this is something that, sure, Hope as an individual could go for a split because he could easily take down minions and turrets because of how stacked his Q may be, but regardless, if he's left in a vulnerable position wherein the rest of Ateneo ADDU University collapses onto him, then that's where things get really tricky for LDC.
And it's going to be really difficult for Hope to just teleport out of those situations because of the amount of CC that is on the side of ADDU. So they're going to have to be really careful. Well, if Hope does decide to do that split push, it will be a bit more difficult because that's going to be one tank in the lacking in the side of LDCU, and they really can't afford any lacking members right now, especially at the position that ADDU is at the moment.
If anything, if they really want to try to force place, I feel like they might want to try to rely on Sea Dragon, in which case, because they don't really have that super solid engage, except for probably Ramos if ever he goes for some kind of drift mode.
That's right.
But then again, there's so many elements here that Ateneo ADDU University has to stop that. So if anything, LDCU maybe wants to try to capitalize on their element of surprise through the right.
Which I think they're doing right now.
Indeed, there we go. Looks like this is going to be a lot of members converging onto Ateneo ADDU University. Kobe kind of left out here while Carly kind of stuck in the middle. Sea Dragon as well going to try to converge onto Kobe. They are taking down members of ADDU 1-1. And this kind of voids out that Baron advantage that they've had in a way, as the rest of ADDU University tries to back away. Vath and Gosu trying to do what they can. Demon Kite catching up with the rest of the members here. The Hound actually zoning out Vath here as 4 members converge onto Gosu, but it looks like they will be going for the marksman instead. Down, down, down he goes. Teleport coming in from Hope here. Gonna go for the split. No, actually for the save towards bot side.
That's right, Kitanda was all the while that was happening, Kitanda was actually forcing his way into the turret. Oh my gosh, that got shut down. He was about to Weaver's Wall out, but Hope is just massive with that siphoning strike.
Man, that's just not...
That's not where you want to see a late game Nasus on the enemy team is. That is really scary, and that's going to allow them a lot of split push advantage as well. Although that is gone, Hope could be in danger because he does lack his teleport now. He used it in Engage. It's going to be a bit more difficult to split push, but that will give him some time to farm out that wave before it gets to the side of ADDU.
This kind of reminds me of a meme wherein you kind of don't want to go up against this 10-foot Egyptian god of death. And it's quite apt because of... Yeah, I mean, Hope is actually running the Nasus skin here, so it makes it all the more
appropriate
yes, for...
Exactly.
But overall, I gotta say, this is technically where ADDU University doesn't want... It's kind of a scenario that they don't want to happen, wherein they get picked off one by one, because by the numbers as a team, they definitely have all the potential to really wear down LDCU because of the advantage in the form of the CC that they have. But ooh, Kitanda dealing a lot of damage onto Sea Dragon here. Kobe going on to Demon Kite here, but Demon Kite is kind of chunking out at Kobe. The rest of ADDU University not able to respond as fast to capitalize on that.
Yeah, Kitanda started that off with the shove. I think he just wanted to make a pick, but instead he got damaged on so much by Sea Dragon. I think he's underestimating the amount of damage. A 5-1 rise. That's really scary, and that's something you don't want to shove into your face every now and then.
No, not at all.
So, ADDU is still in the lead, but very narrowly at this point. They will start to just taper off and go into these corners of their own base. They're not engaging as... Sorry, they're not invading as often as we've seen the previous games, and that kind of shows the power that LDCU has in the form of this team comp. That, again, we said earlier that this is going to be very lacking in terms of CC, but they're making it work somehow.
So there we go, 13-9 on our scoreboard. Still, not really as telling us to who could potentially win this game, because from what we've been seeing thus far, it's all about opportunity for both sides, wherein, let's say, at the Cagayan University, they want to try to get, well, kind of both sides, actually. They want to try to go for pickoffs here, but that's not real. It's just that at the ADDU University, they have a lot more options as how they could take down, let's say, the Cagayan University, wherein LDCU in exchange, their options are kind of limited, but it's a bit trickier for them.
That's right.
But it doesn't necessarily translate as to them potentially losing out on this game, because we have seen if one side slip-ups and just how big of value other side gets once they do capitalize on such slip-ups.
That's right. I think the power of LDCU will come if they start doing that death ball composition where they have Nasus on the side flanking for the Hound and Demon Kite on the back. But right now, they want to go on the front.
Indeed,
the Hound, though,
only member that gets in on this fight here, but here comes the rest of LDCU to go for the response. Vath getting the kill onto the Hound, but still, they are fighting under turret, actually, LDCU. Oh, look at the damage, though. Just tanking that like a man. Kitanda, though, coming in from the backline. Hope getting the kill onto Kobe. Will try to go for Kitanda, but Kitanda dealing so much damage himself. Konako, double kill for Kitanda. Only Konako, the remaining member here. He might succumb as a casualty himself. Triple kill for Kitanda. That is going to be the ace for ADDU University.
Yes, LDCU started that off so well with the engages, with the front line of Hope, and it was looking good for them up to the point where they were ignoring Kitanda. The amount of damage that Kitanda can dish out. Because if you have a 6-2 Rise, you have an 8-4 Talia on the other side, which is, again, very scary, and that's not something you want to ignore. Because of that, the ace goes through for ADDU, and that could lead to a really safe Baron because they will have the chance to drop those wards earlier.
Indeed, and if you're going to look at how that fight went, the focus that LDCU has as far as which target they should be prioritizing was kind of a bit on the messier side, but looks like ADDU University is going to try to go for their second Baron of the game, and it looks like it will go uncontested. Demon Kite, I'm not sure if they'll be able to contest this. Looks like won't go for the contest per se, and that will be the Baron for
Yeah, that is from that botched engage that they wanted to go on the mid lane. Again, that was under turret, like you said, and that resulted in a really messy fight. They knew that they had limited CC, and they couldn't keep Talia in one place. That is their very weakness. You have a very mobile team on the other side with a great disengage tool in the form of Jace. He can swing people out of the way, and Janna, of course, with that monsoon and that tornado. So that's not really something you want to do under turret. It will be difficult for LDCU to engage, and it'll be more difficult if they do it under tower.
Right now, I don't think the scoreboard actually matters. Still, though, finally, we're actually seeing a form of a lead for ADDU University as far as goal differential, 7,000, leaning towards 7,000 actually, but Sweet Dragon dealing so much damage onto Carly. That's a 3-man knockup though coming in from Carly right there though. Kitanda gonna be caught out, goes down, but still Vath actually manages to take down Sweet Dragon in exchange. That's mid laner for mid laner. Looks like they are not done just yet. Getting the taunt out to Kobe. 4 members of LDCU exhausting as much damage as they can, but still that's a very tanky Maokai. Here comes Gosu though. Man, gets Konako. So much damage. Konako goes down. Looks like Demon Kite may be the next casualty here. Guardian Angel being procced, but I don't think he'll be able to survive that. Down he goes to Carly. Only the Hound, the surviving member. That'll be a 4-for-1 in favor of ADDU University.
Yeah, you saw Gosu flying there with the Youmu's and to the sky. He was able to pick off essential members wherein ADDU was having a hard time finishing off, and now they will have to engage into the inhibitor turret and most likely an inhibitor.
So there you go. They are hitting really, really hard here. Will they potentially finish the game? Sweet Dragon is up now, but still that's a very hefty Baron and Power Wave. That's pushing in Nexus turret number 1, slowly going down the house, trying to do what he can. Gets rooted, gets knocked up, forced to flash away as Sweet Dragon manages to sway away the rest of ADDU University. But looks like that'll be the route onto Kobe. Disengage coming in from Carly. Looks like Sea Dragon, no casualties that he'll be able to take down himself. But still, inhibitor down, but no hope is actually in the backline right there. Continuing the chase, will he be able to get Gosu though? Just one pummel is all it takes, gets knocked out. And this is the tricky part that I've been talking about LDC right there. Not having that solid CC, or at least the tools to just really go full on chase and getting kited around. That's not really the best scenario you want to do, especially this late into the game.
Yeah, at that point, you could just cue the hillbilly music. They were just chasing free people all over their jungle. They did not have a way to lock anyone down. And again, that is the weakness of LDCU's composition, and that will show. Definitely, that's showing so much because of that, ADDU, they're not dying as much as they should, because even with the mistakes that they're committing. And again, ADDU, they are reading into this really properly. They are taking advantage of this, and they're playing LDCU around the map.
Indeed, man. Still with this inhibitor down, this will further establish ADDU University as far as what control they have across this map, and this will force LDCU into a more responsive stance for most of this game, unless some major slip-up happens maybe for ADDU University, but that's not something I'm estimating to see, especially since they have a lot of. Again, it all comes. I've been talking about how much CC ADDU University has, but clear is really showing just how much of an advantage it is right now.
Yeah, LDCU is making up for that lacking of CC with the amount of firepower that they do have once they get into position. That positioning advantage is what will result in LDCU winning if ever they can find it. It's just that ADDU is giving them such a hard time in finding that, and that might not matter as much because ADDU is the one that is starting to knock on ADDU is the one starting to knock on LDCU's door, and that starts in Hope.
There we go, Hope getting caught out here by Kitanda, though they are just kiting around. G-Dragon trying to exert some damage himself, close to getting the kill. Looks like that'll be the zombies coming in from G-Dragon, but no, Kobe actually goes in under turret to try to get Demon Kite here as they kind of back away, but still this is a wave starting to push in without hope. This might be tricky for LDCU. Here comes Carly. Looks like they will be giving up this inner top turret as they start converging onto inhibitor turret now. And oh man, will LDCU be able to defend though? The Hound trying to front for the rest of everybody here on ADDU University. Down, 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 that inhibitor turret goes. This will be the last inhibitor for the takedown, leaving LDCU space all the more vulnerable. Down it goes so fast. And here we go at the ADDU University, seeking some opportunities. We'll be transitioning into this mid turret. Down so fast indeed, and down it goes. The Hound trying to find something, but not able to get a solid follow-up. Looks like Hope is up and running now, but still they are really hitting hard at this inhibitor. LDCU, this may be your final stand. Down that inhibitor is going to go, but no, actually survives the litter of but still the Hound, as much as he wants to chase, taking so much damage though. That is going to be the disengaged coming. Harley gets the kill onto Demon Kite, bad in exchange, gets Konako. This is going to be 3 members from LDCU for the last stand. Make that only 1 remaining member. Hope dealing so much damage onto Kitanda, but that won't be enough with 5 members of ADDU University still alive and kicking in this case. That'll be the ace, not only the ace, but that will be the game, ladies and gentlemen. After quite the game that we've had, congratulations ADDU University, still standing strong in the Mindanao Conference.
Congratulations to ADDU University. It was really beautiful watching them dance around the map there while they were fighting towards the end. And you also have to give props to them. They're showing really good consistency in showing off their macro. Despite having even kills all throughout the game, they were very steadily ahead in terms of gold. And that just shows the decision making behind the ADDU and how they engage in these fights. They are very amazing. First of all, they really got outdrafted. They outdrafted LDCU. I have to say that is very crucial. And afterwards, they executed really cleanly. They kited really beautifully. And I just have no words for ADDU. Really good job. Congratulations. And this is the sort of team that we might see in the fight for Kings of Davao very soon, Arctic.
Oh yeah, definitely. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and check out the end stats of the game across the board. G-Dragon, I gotta say, did quite well on this rise. But then again, as we did mention, it's the draft in itself that kind of defeated them. Sure, they did have the potential to win, but when you have a draft that kind of makes it hard to realize your win conditions, things get really tricky. And when you're up against a team like ADDU University that does have that coordination, that does have the synergy, man oh man, you have quite the predicament that you're in.
That's right. LDCU, they sort of went, if you notice, they sort of went into the survivability mode wherein they forgot that they needed lockdown, and that's the lacking part of this composition. And I sort of expect a lot of damage coming in from Gosu, most likely followed by VAF. I like that VAF also went into this build where there is also a rapid fire cannon that worked so well in his build where he started off with attack speed, and that's how he was able to catch up with the tower destruction of Tristana. Tristana wasn't even able to take advantage of the tower destruction that he could provide because he was nowhere near towers. ADDU was so efficient in getting those kills.
Indeed, man, oh man. But still, regardless, with everything said and done, let's go ahead and check out the damage here. Woo!
Yeah, definitely Kitanda showing off his ability to maneuver on that Talia, followed really shortly by Gosu. And yeah, good damage output, good tanking, of course, for Kobe. We can never forget the engages that he provided, and as well as disengages. So many saves done by that Jack.
Indeed. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been Game 5. When we do come back though, it is gonna be a soaring back and airplane trip back to Metro West.
That's right.
As we see LPU Lyceum of the Philippines University take on Technological Institute of the Philippines Manila. Of course, that is it for the meantime. We have been your casters, Arctic Cat, Service Sam. With me is Rockhard. Once again, you are watching the Garena Local Collegiate League powered by Lenovo. Challenge what you know. We'll be right back. Got an opportunity, still quite the messy fight that we're having here. Gosu trying to get onto the case of Conoco. It's the rest of LDCU gonna try to converge right now, but still Carly getting the kill actually onto Conoco. So much damage being exerted. Gosu gets the kill in the face for how it looks like they are not done just yet. Sea Dragon, the only remaining hope of LDCU before that ace. Actually, that will indeed be the ace as Ateneo de Davao University goes. It looks like this is gonna be a lot of members converging onto Ateneo de Davao University. Kobe kind of left out here, while Carly kind of stuck in the middle. Sea Dragon as well gonna try to converge onto Kobe. They are taking down members of ADDU one by one, and this kind of voids out that Baron advantage that they've had in the wave. Only member that gets in on this fight here, but here comes the rest of LDCU to go for the response. Bath getting the kill onto the Helm, but still, they are fighting under turret actually, LDCU. Oh, look at the damage though. Just taking that like a man. Kitando though coming in from the back line. Kobe getting the kill here for mid laner. Looks like they are not done just yet. Getting the taunt out to Kobe. 4 members of LDCU exhausting as much damage as they can, but still that's a very fancy down guy. Here comes Gosu though, and gets Conoco. So much damage. Conoco goes down. Looks like Demon Kite maybe the next casualty here. Guardian Eagle being talked about. He could be able to survive that down. He survives the literal all, but still the Hound, as much as he wants to chase, taking so much damage though. That is going to be the disengage competition. Harley gets the kill onto Demon Kite, batting the stage, gets Conoco. This is going to be 3 members of LDCU for the last stand. Make that only 1 remaining member. Hope! Dealing so much damage on the Kitanda, but that won't be enough with 5 members of Ateneo de Davao University still alive and kicking in this case. That'll be the ace, not only the ace, but that will be the game. Ladies and gentlemen, after quite the game that we've had, congratulations Ateneo de Davao University, still standing strong in the Mindanao Conference.
Congratulations to Ateneo de Davao University. It was really beautiful watching them dance.
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.